Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. This is Champion 2D Rob back again, and I thought I would show you guys some of my pickups for the 3DS. I'm sure, like everybody knows, Nintendo is going to be shutting down the online service for the 3DS, I think the following year, and I've just been taking, like, over the last few months, I have been sort of trying to acquire the odd title for my collection, just the odd games that I just never got around to, and trying to pick them up. So that's basically what this video is. It's basically going to be all the games I've sort of picked up for the 3DS over the last few months, and I've also got a few DS titles as well. Not many, just a few. And yeah, let's just get straight into it, guys. So I'm going to start with the DS games. I've only got 3 here, and so the first one, and I picked this up at CEX. I saw this when I was just sort of in there browsing one day, and I just thought, you know what, I'll buy this just out of a curiosity. It was so cheap as well, and you just don't see something like this very often, so I thought I'd pick it up. And they were selling the Metroid Prime Hunters, the demo. So this is just a demo, and which is weird that they were selling demos, but they were selling it for 50p. And the reason why I picked it up was because, you know, it does sort of come with its own cartridge and whatnot, and I thought that's just very unusual for a demo, at least on a handheld. I don't think I've ever seen a demo for a handheld. So I thought, and also because it was Metroid as well, I thought I would just sort of pick it up and include it in my collection. So that's that. The next game I picked up, again from CEX, and I just picked it up, just again, I was just curious to try it out, see what it's going to be like. It's probably going to be pants, but we'll see. And that is Superman Returns. Picked this up for £2. And it is complete. Yeah, so I'm big into superheroes, so for £2 it's kind of hard to pass up, really. So I thought I'd get that. And the last game for the DS, and this was actually a recommendation from Eddie Rollercore, and he recommended this game to me. So I was trying to find it. It was a bit more expensive online, on eBay. So I thought I'd try my chances at CEX because it was far cheaper. I believe on eBay it was sort of selling for about £20, about between 15 to 20 quid, and on CEX they were selling it for about £6. So I thought I would do a CEX roulette, and yeah, I was actually quite chuffed with it. And the game I got was, I've still got the sticker here, but it's Danny Phantom Urban Jungle. So this is basically like a shooter. It is complete, so it did work out for me at the CEX roulette. But yeah, it's basically a shooter, and a really fun one as well. And so, like I said, Eddie Rollercore recommended this to me, and he has generally very good taste in games. So yeah, seems like a bit of a gem. So quite chuffed to get that one for that price as well. Okay, so moving on to the 3DS games. And now, unfortunately, because some of these titles I got like months ago, like it's hard for me to remember what I've shown. I've probably shown a few of them in a previous video. So if you have seen them before, sorry about that. But I know there's quite a few here that I haven't shown. But yeah, so like I was saying before, just sort of trying to update my 3DS collection, trying to grab a few more titles, because I love the 3DS. I think it's a fantastic little system. It doesn't have the biggest library in the world, but I think it has a very solid library. I don't necessarily think it's as good as the DS or even the Game Boy Advance, but I still think it's a very good system. It had some quality titles on there, and I've just got a fondness for the 3DS. So if I can try and grab some titles that I missed out, you know, because unfortunately there are most of them now are out of print officially. You know, you have to rely on eBay to get them, and there's already scalpers trying to like sell some games at ludicrous prices. So yeah, you have to kind of rely on the second-hand market. There are still a few that are still available brand new, but you know, it's as every day passes, it becomes less and less, unfortunately, as they're not making any more. So anyway, guys, yeah, so I've got a stack here of 3DS titles, and yeah, just some nice ones I want to add, just games I'm very interested in checking out. The first one here, I'm pretty sure I've shown this in the previous video, so sorry about this, guys, and that is Sonic Lost World. A very interesting Sonic title. It's like a 3D Sonic game, but it's linear. And yeah, it looked interesting to me. I did play the demo of this back in the day, and I remember not enjoying it that much, but I wanted to give the game a proper go, so that's why I picked it up. And I'm a Sonic fan, so you know, it does come with a manual. Yeah, you know, this is just one that's just been bugging me to get, so yeah, just happy to pick it up. Next one I have here, and this one's actually still sealed, and that is Crush 3D with Another Dimension. Now, I'm actually familiar with the Crush series. I actually own one of the games on the PSP, and I actually think it's a really good game. And I've had this game on my wish list for a very long time. It was a very cheap game. I think I only paid like £10 for it. And because I've enjoyed the PSP game so much, I sort of wanted to check this one out. And I think it's an underrated title, the Crush games. No one ever talks about them. They're really fun sort of puzzle platformers. So hopefully this one is as good as the PSP version. Next game I have here is Lego City Undercover: The Chase Begins. Now the reason why I picked this up is because I really enjoyed Lego City Undercover, the main game. Thought it was fantastic, completed it, loved it, really fun game. Just a joy to play. Not particularly challenging, but I just found it to be a really fun game. So I thought I would pick up this one. This is not the same game as the one on the main console. This is actually a prequel game, hence why it's called The Chase Begins. So yeah, I'm just curious to check it out. I haven't played it yet. I picked this one up cheap at CEX, and yeah, it's complete. Yeah, looking forward to giving this one a go. I never thought I would be buying Lego games because they don't generally, not really up my street. But when I sort of found out that the other one was an open world game, you know, it's basically like Grand Theft Auto for kids. You know, I thought that's going to be a fun game to play, and it really was. And I have to say though, you know, these games, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this if you're familiar with the Lego games, but you know, while they are aimed at kids, older people can play them too. You know, there's actually a lot of jokes and sort of pop culture references to stuff from the 80s. I mean, like, there's a lot of good stuff here for adults to understand. You know, and I'm not saying there's any, like, you know, crude humor that only adults would get. No, it's just stuff about a lot of references to films and TV of stuff that I grew up with, not kids of today. So there is a lot of sort of, you know, stuff that's there for adults as well to enjoy it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. Next one I've got here is Sonic Boom: Fire and Ice. Yeah, looking forward to giving this one a go. I did enjoy, I think it was called Shattered Crystal was the first one. I have that, and it's basically a 2D. It's a 2D 2.5D Sonic game, and this is basically the follow-up. I've enjoyed them, so I wanted to get this one as well. Really good Sonic games, very underrated. I feel. I think the reason why these games sort of go ignored is because they're part of the Sonic Boom series, which doesn't really have the best reputation because it's sort of, I think it's sort of based around the cartoon that came out a few years back. And I know that the main game that came out on the Wii U wasn't particularly well received. I think it came out for various consoles, but it was not well reviewed. So unfortunately, all the games that sort of have its name sort of get tarnished with it as well, you know, bad reputation. But these ones on the 3DS are actually really fun 2.5D platformers. So yeah, definitely want to pick that one up. And the next game I got here, and I had to snap this up, you know, before the prices started getting crazy on it, and I was lucky that I was able to get this for a standard retail price, and that is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. It's one of the Zelda games that I wanted to have. I had a feeling this one would probably shoot up in price on the 3DS. I think it's still going for a standard retail release price right now, but I know there are a few scalpers already trying to get this one to about £100, which is stupid. But yeah, just a good one to actually sort of complete sort of the main sort of Zelda games on the 3DS. So, you know, and I know it's an N64 game, and it has its fans, but it has its detractors as well. I think some people didn't like this game, even though they loved Ocarina of Time. Some people even say this game is better than Ocarina of Time. Others don't think the same. But I'm willing to give it a shot, so yeah, glad to have that. And let's see here. I've got a few more here. Next one I got here, and this is a title that originally I was planning to get on the Switch, as I know it got a better port on the Switch, but the price of this was hard to pass up, and that is Fire Emblem Warriors. Now, I'm a big fan of the Fire Emblem games, love them, great turn-based strategy RPGs. But this one is more like Dynasty Warriors, so you know it's one of those, what they call them, the Musou games. You know, where you sort of run out into an open field and basically fight like hundreds of enemies. It's a hack and slash game. It's not a turn-based RPG. You know, which is partly the reason why I sort of held off from buying it, because while I do love these characters that are in the games, like, you know, I'm not really a fan of that genre. It's not my favourite. They get tiresome very quickly. I have a few games in that sort of Musou style. I have the Fist of the North Star games on the PlayStation 3, but I have to admit, like, for me, about those games, it's really about the license rather than the sort of style of the game itself. I find them to be quite tiresome. I mean, they're fun. For me, they're fun for about 5 or 10 minutes, but I get tired of them quickly. But you know, I'll see what this one's like. I do love the characters in this. You know, a lot of the characters from Fire Emblem Awakening. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. Yeah, so tough now. I think it was about £7 I paid for this, so it's very cheap. Next game I have here, and that is Hey Pikmin. I have never played a Pikmin game. They just generally don't interest me. The reason why I picked this one up, aside from the fact that it was actually very affordable, is because it's in 2D, and you know me, guys, 2D games. So yeah, I wanted to give this a try in 2D. I think this game was not very well received though. That's probably why it sort of dropped down in price quite a bit. But from all the footage I've seen, and even the reviews I've seen of this game, it just seems alright. But generally, people either just choose to overlook this game. They just don't think it's as good as the 3D games, which I'm sure it's not. But for me, you know, it's a 2D game. Want to check it out, you know, see what the series is about, even if it's not exactly what Pikmin is usually like, but worth a try anyway. Last few games here. Next one I've got is Ultimate NES Remix, and I gotta say, this game proved tricky to get. There is not a lot of UK PAL copies out there. It went out of print a long time ago. You can't really buy it new anymore, and so you have to resort to eBay. And you know, there's a lot of people selling this game price-wise all over the place. I believe I paid $30 for my copy, and I did make sure that this was a UK PAL copy, because there are a few that I believe are German. So it's quite a tricky one. I had to bide my time. So the minute the UK PAL copy showed up, I just nabbed it straight away. As far as what the game is like, this is basically a series of mini games, and they're all centered around sort of classic NES games. So you've got, you know, classic Kirby, classic Super Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, and a few others as well. And it's all very sort of short, time-based mini games centered around a lot of these sort of classic NES era titles. I thought it was an interesting one. I kind of regret not grabbing it when it first came out, but you know, I have it now, so lucky to get. You know, as it says, it sort of says here like the best stages from NES Remix and NES Remix 2 on Wii U. Okay, so it did come out on the Wii U as well. Yeah, I'm really chuffed to get this. It's just a nice little bit of Nintendo style, you know, fun with some of that classic era of games that, you know, I grew up with. So really happy to get that one. Next one I have here, again, had to resort to eBay for this because it was proving tricky to get on as a brand new game, and that is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I believe this is a remake of the game that came out on the GBA. It's considered one of the best sort of Mario RPGs. I have pretty much all of them. I think minus one on the 3DS, but I wanted to get this one because I hear this is one of the best ones. So yeah, just really chuffed to get this one. Looks great. Again, a little bit tricky to get, but I managed to get it on eBay before the prices sort of went crazy on it. I actually had the chance to pick this one up a lot cheaper, and I passed on it. So I think I paid about, again, 30 quid for this game. But happy to have it now. Happy to have it now anyway. So yeah, chuffed with that. Next game I have here, again, one I was really happy to get now. This is one that I managed to grab brand new. Just bought it, you know, I'm not too sure if it's still available on Amazon. But I picked it up brand new, sealed, and I got it for a good price as well. And that is Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. Now, I held off on this because I do own Epic Yarn on the Wii, but this seems to be more of a definitive edition, and I'm a big fan of Kirby, so I sort of wanted to have all the Kirby titles on the 3DS, and this is basically the only one I needed. So managed to grab that. Very, very happy, as I do believe this one's may become a hard one to get in the future. So very, very chuffed to get this one. And finally, now this is actually my most recent pickup for the 3DS, and this is a game I actually ordered months ago. I had this on pre-order. I ordered this from Pixel Heart, and at the time I was thinking this might possibly be the last published 3DS game. Although I have been informed that I think there is still one more 3DS game that's going to be coming out. So it won't be the last game, but either way, you know, this one will definitely be I might believe it might be collectible in the future. And that is Andro Dunos 2, which if I remember correctly, this is a sequel to a 3DS to a Neo Geo space shooter, and this has come out on different platforms. But the 3DS version, seeing it's basically one of the last games to be released on the 3DS officially, this can only be bought at the Pixel Heart website, and at the time of this video there are still copies available, guys, so if you want a copy of this, pick it up. I do plan on picking this game up for the 3DS as well. That was basically going to be my system of choice for this game, but I wanted to get a 3DS copy as well. It looks great, definitely looks like my cup of tea. I'm more of a fan of the of sort of like the horizontal shooters like R-Type. Those are the games that sort of really appeal to me in terms of space shooters. I do like my vertical ones as well, but I generally tend to lean towards the horizontal ones. Yeah, this one looks great. I'll probably just play it on the Switch though. That's probably going to be my system of choice. But really glad to get this one though. Yeah, so like I said, guys, if you want to grab yourself a copy, it's still available on the Pixel Heart website, at the time of this video. So yeah, really chuffed with that. So that's it, guys. That is basically what I picked up for the 3DS. I'm not really picking up much for it now. It's pretty much done for me. But you know, if I can see an interesting game that I like, I'll grab it. But fortunately for me, I was able to pick up a lot of the titles that excuse me. Fortunately, I was able to pick up a lot of the titles that I wanted for it at the time of its release. So there isn't much for me to get. But I just wanted to make sure that I had a nice collection for it because, yeah, I just love the system. It's great. Absolutely adore it. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys have picked up for the 3DS. I'd be very interested to know. Let me know if you're going to pick up Andro Dunos 2 as well. What system you're going to get it for. Let me know, guys. And yeah, I'll leave you there, guys. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.